So here's a fun question to kick things off. At what point does law enforcement quietly become, oh, that feels weird? Because right now in the United States, federal agents are grabbing people off the street, operating in tactical gear, refusing local oversight, shooting civilians, and then saying, everything is totally normal, please stop noticing. And if you point this out, someone immediately jumps in like, wow, calm down. You can't compare this to authoritarianism. This isn't Nazi Germany. And they're right. It's not Nazi Germany, but it rhymes. And historically, rhymes are how this crap starts. Welcome to the Cassandra Effect, the psychological curse where you're absolutely correct and no one will listen until it's too late. Quick mythology refresher. Cassandra was blessed with prophecy. She could see the future clearly. Unfortunately, she was also cursed so that no one would ever believe her. She warned about disasters. She warned about wars. Hell, she even warned about the Trojan horse. Everyone said, relax, Cassandra. Stop being dramatic. They did not, in fact, relax. The Cassandra Effect today means warnings are dismissed because they're uncomfortable. Evidence exists, but belief doesn't. The messenger is mocked instead of the message addressed. Which brings us to modern America, a country currently doing the political equivalent of hearing a smoke alarm and saying, it's probably just the toast again. When you say, hey, this feels like the early stages of something dangerous, people hear, you're calling everyone a Nazi. Which, no, that's not what's happening. Here's why people resist this conversation. Cognitive dissonance. People don't want to believe their country could do bad things. That's emotionally inconvenient. Normalization. If it happens slowly, outrage turns into background noise. Oh, another raid. Oh, another shooting. Oh, another internal review. Political tribalism. If your side is doing it, it's justified. If the other side does it, it's tyranny. Consistency died years ago. Hollywood brain. People expect authoritarianism to look cinematic. Spoiler. It looks bureaucratic, boring, and wrapped in legal jargon, which is why Cassandra always sounds dramatic. Let's talk about ICE, Immigration and Customs Enforcement. Officially, they exist to enforce immigration law. In practice lately, they've been behaving like a DLC expansion pack for militarized policing. Recent highlights include armed federal agents operating in cities against local government wishes, raids with questionable warrants, citizens detained, injured, and killed, investigations blocked or stonewalled, protesters tear-gassed outside hotels housing agents. And if your reaction is, wait, that sounds intense, congratulations, you still have pattern recognition. Because what's unsettling isn't one incident, it's the frequency, the lack of accountability, the insistence that you're crazy for noticing, which brings us to the phrase everyone is allergic to. Say the words, secret police, and suddenly everyone becomes a constitutional law professor. Actually, ICE has statutory authority under, cool, that's adorable. But let's define secret police functionally, not emotionally. Historically, secret police forces tend to operate with vague or expanding mandates, use intimidation rather than transparency, avoid local accountability, target specific populations, frame dissent as a threat. Notice what's not on that list. Swastikas, goose-stepping, Hugo Boss uniforms. Authoritarianism doesn't show up dressed as a Marvel villain. shows up as, this is necessary for safety. This is temporary. You're overreacting. And that's where the Cassandra Effect kicks in. No, ICE is not the Gestapo. But here's the part history textbooks scream in unison. The Gestapo didn't start with death camps. It started with political intimidation, expanded police power.
Leave now. If you don't, we will find you, and we will deport you. You will never return.
More recently, Americans have been watching videos of ICE tackling a young mother, tear gas being used in a Chicago residential neighborhood, and the smashing of car windows. Have some of these raids gone too far?
No, I think they haven't gone far enough.
You're okay with those tactics?
Yeah, because you have to get the people out. You have to look at the people. Many of them.
Surveillance, detention without oversight, public fear reframed as security. Most Germans didn't wake up one day and say, wow, we're the villains now. They said, this is necessary. This is legal. This keeps us safe. And if you pointed it out early, congratulations, you were Cassandra. Wrong tone, wrong timing, wrong vibe. This isn't about immigration. This isn't about left versus right. This is about power. Specifically, who has it, how it's used, and whether anyone can say stop. Because once a government learns it can use force without consequence, ignore local authority, dismiss criticism as hysteria, it never voluntarily unlearns that. History's lesson is brutal but clear. The most dangerous words in a democracy are, this isn't that bad. Here's the cruel joke of the Cassandra Effect. If you're wrong, you look paranoid. If you're right, people wish they'd listened later. So when you point at ICE and say, this is crossing lines, and someone replies, relax, you're being dramatic, they're not evil. They're just doing what humans have always done when power gets uncomfortable, ignoring the warning. Because believing would mean admitting that systems fail, democracies erode, and it can't happen here is a lie we tell ourselves to sleep at night. So no, don't panic. But also, don't shut up. Because Cassandra wasn't cursed for being wrong. She was cursed for being early. And if this made you uncomfortable, good. That's the point. Drop a comment. Do you think people are overreacting? Or are we watching history warm up its greatest hits? Like, subscribe, and remember, the warning never sounds unreasonable until the disaster looks obvious.